I have a hankering for some Red Lobster's Ultimate Feast. I'm going to be showing you how to make it from home. And we're about to get into the ingredients. Make sure you smash my like, my bell, and subscribe if you haven't already. But definitely hit the like so YouTube knows you like me. So I can keep making more content. And thank you for joining me on Instagram. Thank you for joining me on YouTube Live. I'm going to be filming my Red Lobster's Ultimate Feast, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so for our feast, we have our crab legs, a big bag, one moment, uno momento. Okay. Ingredients: crab legs, enough shrimp for 2 dishes. I like them peeled and deveined. And lobster tail. That's what they look like before you cook them. They're not red or pinkish. They're just pretty. They actually look really pretty. They're like pretty little fishies. But we're going to eat them. And then, of course, when you get these seafood dishes frozen, sometimes they come with the garlic butter scampi sauce. So I'm going to use that for my shrimp scampi. I have all my ingredients for frying. So I have my milk, my eggs, and my flour. And we're going to season that. So I have all my spices, my regular cabinet. I'm going to be using Old Bay today. Make sure you have your lemon juice, your other spices, all your favorite spices. And then I'm also going to be making my own little sauce afterwards, which I'll need these for. And we have some water because we're going to need this to steam our crab legs and our lobster tail in. So you just need a little bit of water, just enough to cover the bottom of your pan. You need a big pan. A big pan to steam everything in with a lid so you can steam it. You need a pan for grease so you can fry it. We're going to steam it, then we're going to fry it, and then we're going to saute it. And this is our pan for shrimp scampi. So we're going to do fried shrimp, shrimp scampi, and then the lobster tail and the crab legs. And let's get started. Where to start, because it's the ultimate feast, and we are definitely about to cook a feast. So I'm going to go ahead and get my sea legs and my lobster tails in here, and then we'll work on the shrimp. So what am I doing? Oh yeah, and don't forget, when you're frying food, you need your plate with your napkins so we can take it out the grease and put it in there. And I'll move all this to the side until I need it. And we'll put these over here. Get organized. Thank you guys for joining me live. I hope you're having a wonderful night. And it is almost the weekend. And I hope you enjoy this seafood ultimate feast for Red Lobster. Copycat. It's already hot up in here and I haven't started cooking. Alright, so let's go ahead and pour our water into our big pot. And that's perfect. You just literally want enough to cover the bottom. And you might have to add more as you steam it. But hopefully we won't have to steam it long enough for this to disappear. Let me show you how much water we're talking about. Like a very, very small amount in the bottom. Very small amount. Because you really just want to steam it. You don't want to boil it. And if I had one of those screens to put at the bottom of the pan to put my seafood on top, I would really love that. So I will be getting one of those to make my steaming a lot better. If you boil it, it gets too chewy. That's when you get chewy seafood. So try not to boil it. Try to just put a little bit of water in the bottom so you can steam it, which is why we got the lid. So I'm going to go ahead and put my seafood in and then add my spices. I don't think Red Lobster really goes overboard with their spices, but anytime I cook seafood, I like to have some Old Bay in it. So look at these beautiful frozen. That's the cool thing about seafood, is it does freeze very well. And have a nice big bag here. Oh, look at those crab legs. They're good size. Let's see, what size does this say? They are Southern King Crab, wild caught. As far as I know, you want all your seafood to be wild caught. Look at the size of these sea legs. We're going to play with them before we put them in our pot. This one's a little broken up. We'll just put him. We're going to kind of try to like stack them on top of each other. So we want all the, like, the broken pieces at the bottom. And we're going to put these nice, beautiful pieces on top. So I'll just set him to the side like that. And we'll just pour these in here. And then stack them like a teepee. And I'm going to do fingers up. Just kind of like this. And they're all going to kind of lean on top of each other. And then our lobster tails are going to come in here and lean on these guys too. So I have my nice little cool little teepee of sea legs. If we don't burn down the kitchen first. Good thing our grease wasn't hot. Okay, so I have that in there. And then we're going to add our lobster tails. And then we're going to add our spices. And then we're going to boil it. So let's go ahead and turn this to to medium. And I want both burners, but I want them on simmer. 2. We'll try 2. See if 2's hot enough to get it a boil, but not too hot enough to steam them. Okay. We'll put our shrimp to the side for a second. And we'll put our little sauce to the side for a second. So, when you're dealing with lobster tails, the way they do it at Red Lobster is they actually cut the spine here down. And I've never actually done this, so hopefully it goes well. And if you're just now joining us, we're making Red Lobster's Ultimate Feast. We got our crab legs beginning to steam in our big pot here with only a little bit of water. That's all we have going on so far. We got to cut a seam down our lobster tails. And I sharpened my knife in hopes that it does the job. But we will find out. I know how they do it at Red Lobster, but I've never actually done it. I've always just thrown my lobster tails in my pot, but I want to be fancy and I want it to look like Red Lobster. So if we could get to our lobster tails, I don't know how sharp this knife is. Maybe I dulled it. Anybody offering knife sharpening lessons? Hey. So I did get my cutting board just to make things a little safer because you don't want this slipping around. And let me show you close up. And I do have my Shein Made outfit on. Look for my try-on hauls coming soon. Oh, look how beautiful and tropical they look. Like they're just these beautiful little sea creatures. And once you see how pretty they are, they're like, then they just turn red. They're like magical. And they taste so good. But it's like beautiful like a butterfly. And we are going to splay it open. Oh, poor little lobster tail. Look at how pretty. They're really gorgeous. I just love the way sea creatures look and taste. Okay. They usually take maybe a few minutes more than the crab legs, but so I want to hurry up and get these in. I have had these sitting out for a little while, so they're not 100% frozen. They've already started to thaw a little bit. So if your tails are frozen, throw them in a few minutes before your sea legs, your crab legs. All right, so we're gonna try to cut right down here without cutting myself. And I think you just kind of do a little crunch. Oh. Alright, I think that's it. Just make sure your shell is disconnected down to the bottom here. Oh, there we go. Oh, I did it. That wasn't very pretty, but we did it. So as you can see, it's kind of just got this little crack here now. There we go. And that is all you do. And then you're gonna put it in your pot. So I'm gonna set this on top because again, we want these steamed, not boiled. So I just put them right here on top of my legs. And we're gonna try to cut this one too. So let's see if we can. This one didn't cut as pretty. Hold on. Shouts out to the professional chefs who work with seafood. And I think I got it. Just make sure that membrane's kind of cracked open so the meat can, what do you call it? Pop on out of the shell and look really pretty like how it does in the restaurants. I don't know what happened to that shell. I guess I put it into the meat. Hold on. Where did it go? I don't know. This one's not as pretty. But it'll still taste as good. So, hopefully. Where did that little shell go? It ain't the shell. I really don't know. Oh, it popped way over here. Okay. Alright. So here we have, I just didn't want to have to eat it in the meat or serve it to somebody to eat in the meat. So here we have our second one, not as pretty, but we're just going to set this one as on top too. And we're going to let the steam, oh, spices. So we need that. We don't need this. Get my bleach wipe. I'm cleaning in my maid outfit. Isn't that so appropriate? I got my little garter belt on too. It matches from Shein. This is like $2. This one's like $5. So as you can tell, see how it's already steaming? That's what we want. And we're going to add lemon juice. Just squeeze it on top. Like so. Let me show you what we're going to do with some pepper. And some Cajun. And some garlic salt. And some salt-free Creole. I'm just shaking this on top because our main ingredient, well, not garlic powder, but you don't have to put that in there. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then some, the magic ingredient, okay. So I'll try to do this. Don't go light on the obey without making myself sneeze. So then what we do at that point is I kind of stir it all up like this. Let me show you first what that is looking like. And then basically I just kind of like slosh it around and restack it just so that it gets in that steam water down there. And I like to be a little extra. So you mix it kind of up, and then we're going to restack it into our teepee. Make sure our lobster tails are not in the water, that they're sitting on top of our sea legs. And they are. I'll put all these back up. There we go. And it's just hot enough to steam it, not boil it. And the heat from the steam alone will make them hot, will make them cooked. And I know you can't tell what I'm doing, but here. Here's what we're looking like. So I have my lobster tails perched on top of my sea legs. And my sea legs perched on top of each other. And the minimal amount of meat in the water at all times. And we're just going to put the lid on there and let that steam. So, that's that. We don't touch that till it's done. Half of our meal is already almost ready. And I'm going to keep this out just in case I do need more water, but I doubt it. I don't think I will. Alright, so now we need to get to our shrimp. Because we got our lobster tails and our crab legs. Alright, I'm going to split this half and half. Half's going to be fried and half's going to be scampi, shrimp scampi. So I'm going to just rinse this out real quick. Forgot to do that. So you're just going to get like the excess packing juices out of your shrimp. These ones, so these ones say they are deveined. They are shell off, deveined, and peeled. They're ready to cook, so you can eat the whole thing. So I'm going to put half into my pan for the shrimp scampi. And thanks for joining me live. If you're just now watching, we're making Red Lobster's Ultimate Feast. And we've got our lobster tails and our sea legs in our steamer. And we're about to put half of our shrimp, just half of our shrimp, into our pan here. And I'll put a few more because that's about half. That's about half. So I'm gonna put half into my pan and half into my milk bath. These are gonna be our fried shrimp. And I'm not gonna do too many fried ones. Because the scampi I could eat again tomorrow, but the fried ones, I kind of like my fried shrimp fresh, so I'm going to do more scampi than actual fried shrimp. I just got shrimp juice in my mouth. So much for my lipstick. These are my eyeball. Alright, I got glitter everywhere now. At least I have not burned myself yet. We're on a roll. And I hope you're having fun watching me cook, or at least having fun cooking yourself, because that's the whole point. Cooking is supposed to be therapy, or at least watching me cook is supposed to be therapy. Alright, so now we want to get our grease hot. Let's put this on 6, a little above medium. Make sure your handle's away from you so you don't accidentally knock it over and spill it on yourself, especially when you have multiple pots going on. And it is looking beautiful and steamy in there, but it is not boiling. That's what we want. Don't bring it to a boil, just steam it. So I'm going to be cheating and I'm using these nice little, it comes with the seafood sometimes in the packaged seafood, the fancy ones like the lobster tails. And it's actually just like the scampi sauce. So it's like, it's just a butter garlic herb. Well, it was melted, but now, it was frozen, but now it's melted. So it's basically just butter and herb sauce for scampi flavoring. And I'm only going to do one in mine because I don't want too much butter. I'm not a big extra butter fan. So I'm going to put these back in my freezer for another time before they completely melt. And if you do like butter, you can put butter in here when you steam your seafood, but I don't think it needs it. So I like to taste the crab meat and the lobster tail meat, so we're just going to go with some just original fancy spices. And this is our cube of our scampi butter bouillon flavored garlic cube that was frozen and is now melted. And we're going to just use that to flavor this shrimp. We're not really going to do anything else to it. So that can go on the back burner on medium as well, because I don't want to overcook my shrimp. I want it to all kind of be done at the same time. And we still have quite a bit of frying to do. So this is going to be the hardest part, is to fry the shrimp. This is all really easy. You just put it in the pan, put some spices in it, and let it go. This, we got to fry it. So we need our flour, and we need our milk and egg wash. So this is going to be our wet and to dry to grease. So this is getting hot nice and fast. I will need to stir that around, which I have a spoon over here. There we go. Alright, so stir stick for our scampi here. And sometimes people put crushed red pepper flakes in your scampi, but I'm just going with the butter garlic salt. Butter garlic herb sauce. And we'll just leave that in there. And our seafood is starting to turn colors. If you can see here, it's starting to turn it's starting to get a little bit of a pink hue to it. It's still fishy looking. That means it's not cooked enough. So we're going to keep steaming it until it turns nice and pink. Our eggs, crack them in our bowl. Whoop. And 1, 2. I want to mix up my flour first. I'm going to season my flour. I don't think they have a lot of seasonings in the Red Lobster batter, so you can go a little bit more plain on this part, but I like flavored fried shrimp, so I'm going to add some flavor to my flour, and I'm going to add some flavor to my milk. So we're going to garlic salt this and garlic salt that, and that's pretty much all we're going to add except for this non-salted Creole seasoning, just because we don't want it too salty, but we just want a little kick to it. So let's kick it up, and a little bit in our milk bath as well. What I do to my flour, I always do to my wet. And it's about to get to me. About to get some pepper in my sinuses. Okay. Whew. I'm actually going to add a little bit of garlic too. Just a touch. Just a touch. Whew. Spicy. Alright, so I'm going to just, while my fork is clean and dry, I'm going to just fork in my spices here. Just give it a few little turns. And we can put it right there. And then this, I'm going to want to whisk up my eggs. Break our little yellow yolks. And our grease is feeling almost hot enough. Our scampi needs to be stirred. Oh. And I might just put a touch of garlic salt in here because I think like the fragrance isn't quite there yet. So I just want a little bit more garlic in there, garlic salt. So I'm going to go ahead and stir that in again. And some of these are already starting to cook. They're starting to turn pink. I don't know why seafood turns pink when it's cooked, but it does. So we are going to wait for all those to turn pink. And those are still not red. Oh, the tails are turning red. Ooh. You can see right here. Watch the steam. We're gonna have to turn this down a little bit. I'm gonna have to turn the small one on. But can you see the little tails? The little lobster tails are starting to turn pink on the edges, the very tips. So it is starting to turn colors. Let's see. Let me see if I can pick this up so you can see it. Because it's really pretty. It's color changing before our eyes. So, see what I'm talking about? Oh, look. Look how pretty. See how the bottom is turning pinkish red here? So, we want to keep it right where it is, right above the steam. And keep steaming that baby. And be careful you don't burn yourself with steam. It's supposed to open in a way, but I always forget. I can hear my grease sizzling, so it's about to be ready. My scampi is slowly cooking. We can always turn that up right before we're ready to eat. Just don't want to burn it. We are forking our eggs. We're going to add this to our wet mixture. It's going to help the flour stick to the shrimp. And then we want to mix these in. So, just fork them around. And we are almost ready to throw them into our batter and throw them into our fryer. And then we're going to put them on our plate to drain the oil. And then we are going to make our ultimate feast. Thanks for watching live. I hope you stay tuned or come back for the end plate so you can tell me in my comments how it looks compared to Red Lobster's or if you would eat it. And don't forget to hit that like so YouTube knows you like me. Even if you don't, just hit the like. Just kidding. Help a girl out. Hit the like button. Alright. There we go. We have our shrimp soaking, shrimp cooking, seafood steaming. It's a beautiful sight. I'm gonna be like, it's by the time I get done cooking, I'm probably not even gonna be hungry anymore. I waited till like forever to do this video tonight, so thanks for watching, thanks for joining, and let's get to frying. So I'm going to take my shrimp out of here and throw it into our wet and shake just a little batter off, throw it into our wet, throw it into our wet. I mean, take it out of the wet, throw it into the dry. So dry, dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. And then I usually use my fingers, so let's see. The fork works too. Just flip it over. Toss them around a few times. And we could put a few more in here. We could probably get all of them in here. This is like some baking flour, so it's really like elegant looking. Or actually it's like healthy for you white flour in the organic area of the supermarket, which I can show you in a second. We're just gonna put a few more in here. And I'm gonna toss this around. Alright, it sounds like our grease is probably hot enough to put our first batch of shrimp in here. I really kind of wanted to cook them all at one time just to be like one little dish. So let's see how many more I have in here. We're just gonna get shrimpy. I don't know what that means, but we're gonna do it. Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of shrimp in here. It's gonna have to wait. And this one is a whole tail that I'm going to not eat. Alright, so we have our shrimp here being battered. We're battering our shrimp. Cooking terminology is kind of funny. That's like we're literally battering the shrimp. Okay. And then we're going to throw them into our deep fryer. So kind of just dust off the excess flour and toss it in. And it looks like it is hot enough, so we can keep putting all of them in there. Anytime you use eggs and flour, it will bubble on you, so just don't worry about that. Just try to get off as much flour as you can. Make sure it's still coated. And we are about to have fried shrimp. Our scampi is almost done too. We need to stir that as soon as we get as much shrimp as our fryer can handle. Looks like we got a lot of shrimp here. So, I could fit a few more in my grease here. Make sure you make a mess. Alright, so see how it's turning pink? I definitely want that. I want them all pink, but not too small. So I'm probably going to just go ahead and turn the heat off on this. And by the time we're done with everything else, it should be, all of it should be not this color. All of it should be this color. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the uncooked ones, try to put the uncooked ones on the bottom. And the cooked ones on top. And let's go ahead and just take it off the heat. And we have our shrimp boiling. Alright, so I turned this down a little too much. Let me go ahead and turn it up just a little bit more. Oh, it's steaming very nicely. No, that's good. Good. Leave it. I got zoned out. I love cooking. I love frying. So, my shrimp's going to have a little bit thinner. Actually, what we'll do is we'll put it back in the wet and put it back in the dry so we can get it looking a little bit thicker. Because Red Lobster shrimp is, it's got a heavier bread on it. So, I'm going to double batter mine. Let's batter it some more. Alright, and I'm going to take this off of this hot stove that I did not turn on because I turned off my grease and not my scampi. So let's turn that back on. Let's turn that off. And let's put this to the side where my handle's not going to burn me. And then we're going to let this finish frying. And I'm going to double batter. So to make a bigger mess out of a smaller mess, I'm going to take the ones that I already have here and kind of put them to the side so I could finish, so I could do them all together. So I only had a couple left in here. I'm going to go ahead and take all of them out of here and put them into my flour. And this is a very slimy job, but somebody's got to do it. I could use the utensils, but what's the fun in that? And I'm going to keep an eye on my, fried shrimp. Alright, so now that we have all those out, I'm going to toss these around in my flour. Wardrobe check. And we are going to flour them. I do have my pasties on from Shein as well. They're hearts, sparkly hearts today. And I've been wanting to do this maid outfit, try and haul for a while, so I'm finally going to get that done. And we are going to get this fried shrimp done so we can make our platter. Because that is looking almost red. See how it's turning pinkish all the way around? Beautiful and pink looking. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Alright. So, I'm going to try to make sure I pick up as most of these legs as I can so they're not just sitting in the water at the bottom. But they're kind of slippery. They're kind of like folding down into the pan. So, here we go. that's what we are doing. And these can not come out yet because they're not fried enough, which either means my oil is not hot enough. Yes, because I want a little bit crispier of a crunch on my flour. So we're going to turn the grease up so we can get a darker, crispier crunch faster, because you don't want to over fry shrimp, which these are probably over fried. Or you can if you don't care. I'm not that picky, but if you were serving a seafood connoisseur, they'd probably not want those ones. Alright, so these are all first round battered. We are now going to take each one out and re-dip it in our wet and re-dip it in our flour. And then we're going to put them to another side, and we're going to do like 2 at a time. So wet, dry, and that gives us a little bit more coating on there. And we're going to do it again. Wet, dry. Thank you for joining me live. I hope you're enjoying the ultimate feast. Red Lobster's copycat. Tell me in my comments, what is your favorite dish at Red Lobster? What do you always like to order? I always think I'm going to get everything, but then I always just get the feast. Alright, so wet, dry. And I'm going to go ahead and take the shrimp that I got in there out. And make sure you keep track of the ones you've done and the ones you need to do. And wet. Don't fry your fingers. And a few more here. There we go. A few more. And a few more. And a few more. Those ones might be already double. Ew. Get my dough fingers off. Pastry is hard to get out of jewelry, but that's alright. That's what they made jewelry cleaners for. Alright, so these are definitely cooked. And they look absolutely delicious. They look kind of like they're more tempura. Tempura? They're fried, alright? These are already way cooked, so I don't want to leave them in to get more golden brown, because they're just going to be too tough to eat. So we're going to get these out and we're going to try the next ones. Get our grease a little bit hotter this time. Let's get that up to 8. Let's take it real hot. Let's finish mixing up our individual. This is done. This is messy. And more cleaning in my maid outfit. Okay. We have forked and floured, double battered our shrimp, and make sure everything got a real nice coat on it. Nothing is shy of breaded. And we're gonna put these in our grease. So hopefully it's a lot hotter. It's a nice fast bubble there. And remember, the flour is gonna make it the flour and the egg are gonna make it bubble up. So make sure you get a bigger pan than your grease level, or else it will go all over your stove. And I've definitely done that quite a few times. Just not to the stove. The stove likes me. Alright, we got almost, we'll probably have to do one more. Let's try a few less. Maybe they'll get a little more golden brown for us. And we probably got about another batch or 2 in there. Yep, it's frying up a lot faster. It already is getting some color on it. And our lobster tail is looking beautiful. Our sea legs. Our crab legs. And our lobster tail. Those look almost done. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off on this, and I'm gonna let that just steam just like this. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on the heat just so it gets a little bit, so it doesn't get too cold on me. But everything is off except for my grease right now, because we got our lobster tails and our sea leg, and our our crab leg and our lobster tail and our shrimp scampi, and I wish that had a little bit more coloring to it, but it doesn't, and it usually doesn't when you get it from Red Lobster. This is going to be our sauce dish, so we still need to make our sauce. I'll show you my sauce that I like to eat. Alright, so we don't want to fry these for too long, and just going to kind of flip them a little bit. And I'm going to turn that up just a little bit higher, because I really want to try to get a little golden color on them. Thanks for watching me. Let's get the plate. Oh. It's like my favorite serving dish. So this is what we will be putting our whole feast on, with our sauce cup. Alright, let's get these out before they cook too long. Ooh. Ooh. I'm getting grease everywhere. Let's go ahead and put these over here. I like that extra little crisp they got going on. I'm happy with that. Happy with that. It's going to be really happy when it's in my mouth. And let's go ahead and put in some more. As soon as we get done with this, we should be ready to eat. We should be all ready to eat. Let's see if we can get the rest of these in here. I bet we can. So my camera is about to, or my phone's about to die, but I should have enough battery left over to finish this. Hopefully, if it does turn off, make sure you check out my edited version to see how it's steamy up in here. To see how my shrimp turned out. So I am actually able to get all of my shrimp in here for one last go round. So I got all my shrimp in here for one last go round. Let's get rid of this. And let's try to clean up a little bit of our mess here. This is going to be our serving tray. Let's make our sauce. So these shouldn't take too long to fry. I'm just going to give them a little flip. They're looking beautiful. These are getting color. That's beautiful. You really want to cook shrimp, I guess, on a higher grease temperature so that they cook the inside less and the outside more. Whereas chicken is backwards. You want it at a lower temperature so it cooks the inside more and the outside less. So you have to keep it in there longer. The shrimp fries super fast, so higher grease temperature, faster time. And we're going to go, ooh, look how beautiful. It's going to look great on our plate. Alright, that's the color I was looking for. I'm glad we got that. Let me go ahead and, let's see here. Get a few more layers of our, our degreasing here. We're going to put those on the bottom. And I'm going to put these on top so we could get another row of shrimp on this little tiny plate I picked out. I guess it does take a lot of work to clean. You get sweaty when you clean, so I guess the outfit's appropriate. Alright. Let's go ahead and take our shrimp out. That's a beautiful color. It's going to look great on our ultimate feast plate. And I will be doing the Red Lobster biscuits and sides. So look for that on a future video. I'm going to go ahead and turn my grease off now. And try not to drop my beautiful shrimp on the floor. Or anywhere else other than my napkin. And everything is hot. I'm hot. The shrimp is hot. The stove's hot. The pots are hot. Everything's hot. Hot grease, steam. We basically sauteed, fried, and steamed all in one stove. That's why this is the ultimate feast. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my grease. Oh, that got a little hot. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take my grease off the heat so it doesn't burn my pan without burning myself. And that should be okay over there. No grease fires. Alright. So we're going to, I guess I did need a little dish for this one, but I didn't grab it. So let me see what I have that I could put it in so it still looks pretty. My dish is hidden in the cabinet. Let's see. What do I have? What do I have? We will just have to put it on the plate. That'll be okay. We'll just put it on the plate. Unless we put it in a cup. Oh, we could put it in this dish. Alright, let's do this. So we have our little dish to put our scampi in, and we have our plate to put our seafood on. And I hope this is cooked enough. It looks cooked enough, but not overcooked. So here is our scampi bowl, and we're going to go ahead and scoop some of our scampi into here with some of the juices on the bottom. There we go. And let's get one that's got like a little, there we go. Ooh. Beautiful. And I'm actually going to pour just a little bit of juice on the bottom for looks. Careful, it's hot. There we go. Alright. Trying to get it pretty for presentation. Here we go. So we have our first item on our plate. And let's get our second item on our plate. Our shrimp. Our fried shrimp, we're just going to put it on the plate right here. Nice big stack. Because this is the ultimate, so we're going to go even more ultimate than Red Lobster and really give you a lot of shrimp. Let's put some more scampi up in our plate, in our bowl. We're going to stack it high. And beautiful. It smells so good. I just want to start like stuffing my face right now. Alright, now we just have to put the masterpiece. And make our sauce real quick. Sauce takes like 3 seconds, I swear. So I'm gonna go ahead. They didn't really pop out the back like they do at Red Lobster. So I'm not too sure what I did wrong there. Maybe I don't know what they do. Maybe I cut the wrong side. I don't know. But we are going to go ahead and put our lobster tails on our plate. Let's get our little wings out. Actually, you know what I do first? I like to swish this around to get all the flavors in there. Like just kind of shaking it up. There we go. Now I'm going to put them on my plate. And I will have to get back to you on a whole video on how to cook lobster tail that pops. Because mine did not pop. So we will put this little guy right there. And I guess I should have watched a YouTube video on that before I attempted to cook lobster. It looks like it was trying to come out, but... Alright, so we're going to have 2 lobster tails instead of 1. And... it's just inside, just like that. You can see that beautiful lobster meat in there. So I'm going to just crack mine open a little bit so you can kind of see them. There we go. That's going to be my lobster pop. And then let's get some of these really pretty legs on the plate. Look at this beautiful ultimate feast. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's get this done so we can eat it when it's hot. And bam. We're going to get this cooling on here. And we're going to get this other one. Yep. Just drain them a little bit. And let me keep it away from my crispy shrimp so my shrimp doesn't get soggy. Let's see. We need a few more. Let's get them on this plate. This one works. There we go. Like so. And like so. And let's get this one. Let's see. This one. This one's really pretty in color. We'll throw this one on here right here. That one came out the prettiest. The color. Alright. And let's throw another one on top. Just like so. So here we have our ultimate feast. Lobster tail, fried shrimp, shrimp scampi, Red Lobster's ultimate feast. Doesn't that look just absolutely beautiful? I am dripping from somewhere. This guy right here. Let's keep the juices on the plate. Keep the juices to yourself. Alright, so here it is. It's beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and try a little bite for you. Shrimp scampi. Whatever's in those flavor packets is delicious. Nice and juicy, soft, not overcooked, not chewy. Melts in the mouth. Beautiful. Beautiful. And let's try a fried. Alright. I gotta go. Make sure you try out my Red Lobster's Ultimate Feast. And have a good night. Thanks for watching.